So, hi there, good morning. It's morning here. So, we are here on Genesis chapter 2. Um, let's just jump into the chapter today. Um, yes, thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So, on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. And God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. Adam and Eve. This is the account of the heavens and the earth when they were created. When the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, and no shrub of the field had yet appeared on the earth, and no plant of the field had yet sprung up, for the Lord God had not sent rain on the earth. And there was no man to work the ground, but streams came up from the earth and watered the whole surface of the ground. The Lord God formed the man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. Now the Lord God had planted a garden in the east, in Eden, and there he put the man he had formed. And the Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. A river watering the garden flowed from Eden, and from there it was separated into 4 headwaters. The name of the first is the Pishon. It winds through the entire land of Havilah, where there is gold. The gold of that land is good. Aromatic resin and onyx are also there. The name of the second river is Gihon. It winds through the entire land of Cush. The name of the third river is the Tigris. It runs along the east side of Ashur. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. The Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. And the Lord God commanded the man, "You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat of it, you will surely die." The Lord God said, "It is good for the man to be alone." Sorry. It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him. Now the Lord God had formed out of the ground all the beasts of the field and all the birds of the air. He brought them to the man to see what he would name them. And whatever the man called each living creature, that was its name. So the man gave names to all the livestock, the birds of the air, and all the beasts of the field. So today, if you find some name weird, you can blame it on Adam. But for Adam, no suitable helper was found. So the Lord God caused man to fall into a deep sleep, and while he was sleeping, he took one of the man's ribs and closed up the place with flesh. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the man, and he brought her to the man. The man said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and they will become one flesh." The man and his wife were both naked, and they felt no shame. Today, I think clothes are criticized, okay? The way we wear clothes and fashion. I think in the Garden of Eden, that wasn't a problem. So yeah, we've come to the end of the chapter 2. We will still stick to the chapter by chapter practice for now, because that's better, it's easier. So what struck me through this passage was the place I actually got tripped up. It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him. What I am thinking is, I don't think this applies just for man. but for humankind overall, just like how we read yesterday in the first chapter, where we are made in the image of God and we have the capacity to love because we are made like God, in the likeness of God, to be precise. And that is the reason we long for companionship. We are able to love each other, we are able to bond with people. So there is an inherent need of companionship from the beginning, from Adam. And also, it's been told that by God Himself that it is not good for man to be alone. So in our lives, it's basically never um, advisable to be by ourselves alone. It is always good to be around people. See, I think again we can relate it back to yesterday where I started this journal to just be around people. The feeling of people's presence on a public media while I am studying the Bible. So, you see, we have that need for companionship, and that's the right attitude we ought to have. And it's never good to stay alone because there is a proverb which says, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So, when we are alone, we tend to get a lot of not so good ideas. While I don't blame the creative people now, when you have work, when you have something to do seriously, say you are studying for your exams, or say you are working on your project in the case of work, or you are onto something very important, that is good. You are occupied with something. But otherwise, it's always good to be around people, form communities, network with people. Especially today, social media has, while it has created a global community, it also has its downside where people tend to be by themselves. They are always onto the phone, even while, for example, I've noticed my friends who spend time with me, they just scroll their phones even when they are in a group setting. Some people feel a bit awkward to look up and talk to people, that they hide that discomfort by quickly taking out the phone and just beginning to scroll. I've done that many times when I felt awkward or not so comfortable. But I would encourage myself and you, if someday you watch this video, to not do that. Try to consciously look around people, especially when you are in a public gathering. Try to consciously strike a conversation. Try to, if you are not ready for a conversation with people who are not so, you do not know the people around you, are in a public setting, say you are in at your office, or in a gathering, in a get together. Try this thing. Just try to look up, see around, just walk around. Don't feel awkward to just be by yourself. It's okay. You can carry yourself slowly around people, and the right people who see you will actually come to you. Although you might be feeling awkward, when you look around, people would actually try to come and initiate a conversation with you. Say, they just say a hi, you can just tell, return it back, or just a nod, or just a smile. That is the baby steps towards forming bonds with people around you, because the more you bond with people, the more you grow, the better you are. It has its tremendous benefits which we are losing out. And today, from this particular chapter, what I would encourage you is not to be by yourself, and try to consciously be around people whenever possible, even if sometimes you are so tired out of work. If there is a public gathering where you are requested to participate or be part of a group where you can actually get to talk to people, spend some social time, do that instead of logging onto your social media applications. Of course, you can do that as well, where you get connected virtually to a lot of people, but it's nothing like seeing a person in reality, smiling at them, talking to them. That actually nourishes your mind, your heart, and your soul. So I've personally experienced this in my life, where I did feel awkward a lot, but then later on, I was able. I've now consciously begun trying to talk to people, try to look around, try to not look at my phone, try to scroll around and try to avoid looking at them. Though it still feels uncomfortable when people come and hug me after church, I try to do that. And that has helped me grow a lot out of who I was years back and who I am now. And yes, so this effort of doing a video journaling is also uh, one among my efforts to bond and connect with people. And I think that instead of journaling by myself on a book, doing this makes me accountable to someone around. Once people start looking at the videos, they will expect she started off with chapter one. Where is she now? So that would be running in my mind, and that would force me to keep reading, to keep journaling my thoughts chapter by chapter. So that is one among the reasons to have an accountability and to have people around me someday when you start seeing this. And I think after around 50 chapters, it'll be really nice to look back on my first few videos. That's going to be great. So I would literally have a journal, which is in the form of a video on a social media, and also it would benefit somebody someday when they just feel so bored. They could just listen to this. Instead of reading, they can just plug in their earphones and listen to me reading out. I think that's better than carry the Bible and read it, which initially might be a little challenging. So, what do you think about it? Someday, when you get to see this, what are your thoughts? These are my thoughts, and they are subject to change. They might not be absolute, but just let me know what you think about it. And you have a good day.